Happy weekend, warm greetings, dear precious audience, and dear wonderful, beautiful, and awesome panelists for today, Mrs. Salka Kumar from India, and our beautiful host, Professor Dr. Rania Lampu. Here we are again today in another episode on Real Talk with Experts. The topic today will be on interconnectedness between career and mental health. And let me give you a brief introduction. Mrs. Salka this is the second time she's on our platform after quite some time because I was not able to engage her. Yeah, and I'm so glad to have her again. Dr. Rania, I think this is the first time on your platform, right?
Yes. It's a
Yeah.
great honor
So,
to have you.
yes, welcome, Mrs. Alka Kumar. Okay, dear audience, Mrs. Alka Kumar is she's a PGT. She has PGT psychology, and she's a school counselor. She's an English teacher and mental health counselor. I think she has more than this. What I mentioned, she's super. You will definitely enjoy this session today with her because I'm always enjoying her session and I'm so happy to have her today. I just can't express. Yeah. Great. Welcome, both of you. And I pass over the session to our project leader and advisor, Professor Dr. Rania Lampu, to start the forum.
Thank you
Welcome.
so much.
Yes.
Dear all audience around the world, parents, educators, and students, welcome to the Real Talk with Experts hosted by me, Professor Anya Lampo, and Dr. Esther Mala. I am an educator, actually global educator, STEM instructor, researcher. I'm working at the Greek Ministry of Education and the Greek Astronomy Space Company. Welcome again to our education lifestyle journey towards 2030. This forum is powered by Elegant Empire Education Malaysia, a prestigious educational-based organization which focuses on quality education for all, regardless race, country, and religion. Our idealistic and visionary founder, Ambassador Professor Esther Mala, focuses on upholding a quality education that develops individuals from all walks of life to their potential, which ignites curiosity, enriches knowledge, and nurtures personal and professional growth. Her vision matches with the mission of Elegant Empire Education as it curates a diverse range of online summits, workshops, webinars, and training sessions led by experts and outstanding leaders from various fields. Elegant Empire Education creates an inclusive and supportive environment, and by harvesting the power of technology and innovation, and through this platform, we can collaboratively organize educational events that will enhance knowledge dissemination, skill development, and fostering a lifelong learning global community. Elegant Empire Education strictly follows the slogan, quality education for all. And our session today will focus on a very interesting topic, on the connectedness between career success and mental health. I think it's very useful and precious for young people because youth more and more are struggling with mental health problems. The relationship between career success and mental health, of course, is deeply interconnected, with each influencing the other. Prioritizing mental health can lead to enhanced career performance and satisfaction, while career success can contribute to a sense of achievement and well-being. So balancing both aspects through supportive practice and strategies that our expert today will share with us is essential for achieving long-term success and maintaining overall mental health. So we are honored to have with us expert Ms. Alka Kumar, psychologist and school counselor. Welcome, Ms. Alka, to our forum. It's a great privilege to have you.
Thank you so much.
So I will start with a more general question, which has to do with how we can make our career actually sustainable. Is it possible?
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Rania Lampu. At the very onset, let me thank Professor Estomala, who is a huge influence in my life, despite the fact that I've just met her twice, that too virtually. And of course, I know that you are doing excellent work. And that, again, why I'm why I'm pinpointing this is because I'd come to my retirement and ma'am gave me a course. I have been doing other things, but please understand, the moment you hang your boots, you realize that sometimes your purpose in life goes astray. And that is where you realize that what am I living for? What is it that I want? And then you can generalize that very concept in your life and in the life of others. That we all live to work. Work could be anything, right from a child who's an infant who learns survival, then the school going child, bowling and crying and reluctant with a bag on his back, has to go to school, passing out from school and then going to college and then career, then marriage, then then parenting, then of course old age, and then we go. We bid goodbye to the world. But this entire journey of our life, the lifespan that we live in, is is speckled with our career, a career which comprises maybe of several jobs. It may not be that one job that a person is doing. I started as a career counselor, went up to being the school counselor, then I started teaching psychology, then I took up a course in life skills and I do life skills now. And then public speaking, content, etc., etc., etc. And I have seen that you all are wearing multiple caps. That is what impresses me, that today we are not confined to that narrow domain from where we started and considered that this is our job. So typically, the if we make our career sustainable, it simply means that drop the walls, get out of those confines that you call this is that one job that I'm doing. Go go drop the boundaries and spread your wings. So typically when we talk about a career, we might just be saying that this is what I do to earn a living. But when we talk about a vocation, then we are talking about our calling. What is it that adds color to my vision, that adds color to my work? And I believe in what Confucius says: choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. So, to make your career sustainable, I would number one say, know yourself. So I understood. I was a very reluctant public speaker. And then I realized that I could speak and I could be an intuitive person. And slowly my horizons broadened. So number one is understanding yourself, then allowing yourself to grow. If you live in a rigid state, if you are a fixed person, you would never grow, you'd never learn. I mean, COVID taught us how to stretch and stretch so much that today international boundaries mean almost nothing to us. And then that made us, I think I was 45, 50 when I picked up computer skills. And today I feel that I'm okay, not so good, but I never imagined myself to be technical. And then, of course, I thought, now this is the end. Then other things started happening. I had to get on stage and speak to children from boarding schools, especially international boarding schools. It was difficult, but I could do that. And I've realized that everybody who allows themselves to stretch are not that flexible. They all are able to make a success of the opportunities that come to them. Another thing that makes your career sustainable is the fact that you allow yourself to be surrounded by people who are positive. I feel positively stimulated when I'm in your company. I feel positively stimulated. I think the award ceremony that you people conducted was almost 2.5 hours. I didn't budge from there. I was sitting all through because I mean, I could see so many domains out there. I was so impressed. So the whole idea that there is this world in front of me that I can still devour literally, that allows you to grow. And that is why you positive people are who keep nudging you to move on in life, and then your career becomes sustainable. All
Like Dr. Rania, we have to thank her because for the awards, our award ceremony, she came and stood till the end. She was with us
absolutely.
till the end. She was really amazing.
Yes,
Thank you
I
for the
think
support.
I. But ma'am, with your kind of engagement when you are there, of course you have to be. You're the hostess. You're the presiding queen, so to say. So, but what I learned from people who have so much to do, they have their fingers in so many pies. When they do, they actually stimulate. You give a ripple effect around you. That is why it's nice, it's good to associate with people who have that positive influence, and that is where you need to be flexible. And what I actually believe, and if I come back to slightly technical jargon and I talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I think everybody's heard about it. So the entire purpose of life, the entire motivation of life, it starts from physiological needs and goes right up to self actualization needs, to be satisfied creatively and aesthetically. And that is why you keep working, working on yourself and the environment around you, and then your career becomes sustainable. And I think I'll close my answer to that by comparing how people who are working in jobs to people who are taking up businesses. The entire finance can be divided into 1% of contribution from people who are working in jobs, maybe white collar, blue collar, etc. Vis-a-vis that, all those people who are doing business, which includes startups and things which people have created, 99% of financial contribution comes from there. So that is the wish, that is the will of a person, which can also translate into tangible gains. So yeah, so that is how I say that we need to make it sustainable, and sustainable because we are open to experience. Yeah.
Yes, wonderful. Because making a career actually involves balancing growth, personal satisfaction, well-being over the long term. And as you said, we need to consider a work environment carefully and to associate with positive people, to choose supportive work cultures, finding a workplace that supports collaboration and growth, and it can, of course, this can significantly impact career sustainability. We can also align our personal values with the field of the company that we work in. And I think how to maintain passion and curiosity throughout our career is, of course, very important. How to focus on quality over quantity, and how we adapt, how we resilient we are. We have seen what happened during the COVID pandemic. How many, for example, women lost their jobs. And I think I want to add here a work-life balance, because for me it's extremely difficult. How to establish clear boundaries between work and personal life to prevent burnout is another issue, because this prioritization of mental and physical health are crucial. Yes, of course, all these things are important, and be surrounded by positive people is also important in a working environment. So how career choice affect mental health or well-being? What what do you think?
Lovely question, ma'am. And I see how well you are managing. I think you've just come out of one panel discussion and you're moving on and presiding over another panel discussion where you are contributing as much as you're asking. So you see that we have huge potential, all of us. All that we need to do is exercise that potential and allow and, revisit ourselves, understand how much potential we have. Before I start with talking about how do we balance, and when you talked about work-life balance, I just read in the newspaper, maybe today or yesterday, that it's only women who talk about how to balance house and work. When do we hear men talking about it? They don't talk how do I balance family and career. It's because we have taken on the responsibility. Nobody's imposed it on us, but we, being nurturers, we have taken on the responsibility of balancing both family and ourselves. And that is why we could be the most stressed population, the women. But you see, women enjoy themselves. They'll dress up well, they'll try to, makeup, clothes, talking to people, engaging, going out, partying, whatever. They find their outlets wherein they can let out their pressure. So, excellent question, ma'am. When you ask me what is the link between mental health and career. So number one definitely is that there is stress. And stress because sometimes we are not addressing our calling. If you don't enjoy the work that you're doing, you would always be pushing yourself. The word I'm trying to use over here is overcompensating. So maybe your ability is not that much regarding a particular job, but you need to prove yourself, and because of that, you overcompensate, you burn the midnight oil, and there is so much happening, So 24/7, you are wondering, will I be able to survive in this position? And therefore, you push yourself. And for that reason, these people may suffer from early burnout. Early burnout meaning that by the time you're in your 40s, you get exhausted and you feel you run for your breath and you just feel that enough is enough. So that burnout needs to be. So that is number one is we need to take care of stress. Another mental health concern is to do with your personality, with my personality, with our own individual personality, wherein if we are typically there is a personality theory which says that the type A people are workaholics. They are people who are more prone to heart diseases because they cannot sit down. They are always setting higher expectations of themselves and then rushing to get that. So the type A person will always, like the adage goes, hurry, worry, curry. So they'll eat at the wrong time, they'll keep worrying, and they're always in a hurry, and that leads to the basic is stomach ulcers, so that would be a physical problem. Then they will be out of breath, their body temperatures um, are not always normal, their pulse rate is high, and in the process they end up being hypertensive and very very prone to cardiac diseases. So CHD is something which is is highly related to people with type A personalities. Now, these are things that are more to do with physiological problems. Let's talk about mental diseases. So, a person who is not enjoying the kind of work or is over pressurized might just succumb to maybe smoking or substance abuse, or may not be able to do things uh, that probably are above board in terms of his capacity. So, falling prey to substance abuse, performance enhancers, uh, and sometimes, of course, because you're abusing these things, there will be a long term effect that you'll get dependent on them. And the more you get dependent on these so called performance enhancers, the more you are likely to be suffering from mental health problems. People again, because of because of work concerns, they end up being very anxious. So there is a difference between anxiety and anxiety disorder. So till you are anxious, it is a positive kind of stress. So there is a term in psychology known as eustress. Eustress is that amount of energy that you require to do good work, to push yourself. If you remember, if you think about Newton's first law of motion, which says, um, a body will remain at rest until worked upon by an external force. Similarly, if we do not have that used rest, we would not move forward towards our goal. But if we are pushed too much and we are constantly fighting to finish up our task, then there is a very huge likelihood of that normal day-to-day anxiety or that butterflies in our stomach converting into anxiety disorder. That again is going to be a concern. Similarly, personality disorders also emanate from
Yeah.
a person not being in a fit career. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Alka, may I ask this? What are the normal symptoms, which people suffer from when they have what? Anxiety disorder?
Ma'am, these are people who are constantly, the word nervousness, if you can imagine, to the extreme. They are so anxious, they would not take on a task with that normal verve. I'll be able to do it. They are scared, they will overthink. That is number one. They are probably perfectionists. Perfectionists sometimes do themselves such a big disservice because they are only planning. Okay, my time will come. Okay, I'll be reaching there. And in the process, the time goes by and they do not even get started. So, people who have anxiety disorders are mostly breathless. Their heart is always, it's the pulse is always fluttering. Their hand, there is always this nervous itch in the hand. They are very worked up, so to say. They talk randomly. There is no organization in their head, so they talk. They flit from one topic to the other so fast that the other person is trying to understand what was she trying to say. So the anxious person, anxiety disorders is one of the lowest kind of disorders, so to say. It's kind of a neurosis, which is not as serious as you would call psychotic disorders like schizophrenia and all, but it does need attention. It does need a therapist. It does need sometimes to take a medicine and relax. And therefore, there are a lot of methods um, to treat anxiety disorders, especially when it uh, comes to a person who is, let's say, in an executive position, in a serious workplace environment wherein he is so confused that his entire workforce is confused because he's not sorted. So people who are anxious send out messages which are so confusing that people cannot work it out. So yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Alka. Yeah, we shall proceed. Dr. Rania?
Yes. Actually, as Dr. Alka said about stress and burnout, so careers that involve high stakes or constant deadlines or emotional labor, for example, teachers are considered as high stress jobs, social workers, etc. This can lead to chronic stress. And we all know what is happening with teachers, how they suffer from burnout. So I think that we need to take time to reflect on our career path, on our choices, on experiences, because this can help us making informed decisions moving forward. So we need to seek feedback to reflect regularly. Constructive feedback can be a valuable tool for personal professional growth. And this means that we need to continuously stay updated. So continuous learning and skill development is important because the world is changing faster, skills are becoming updated. So regularly also learning new tools and technologies and methodologies is important. For me, for example, if I choose a specific career path, if the job I choose gives me career growth, development opportunities is important. So this is also important. A career that offers continuous learning and development, offers opportunities for growth, is something that keeps us motivated and engaged. And on the other hand, a lack of growth opportunities can lead to frustration or dissatisfaction. And of course, let's not forget about the job security, because careers that lack job security or offer unstable income can lead to significant stress also and anxiety. So stable employment is also a career that offers stability and a fair compensation. Is something that can reduce, of course, financial stress, etc. So in general, I would say that the purpose and meaning, I mean a career that provides a sense of purpose, can actually enhance well-being by creating a sense of contribution and achievement. And this, of course, can lead to positive emotions, motivation, and resilience against stress. Dr. Alka, what is happening with life skills? Do life skills impact actually our career choices? Or both have a symbiotic relationship? What do you think?
Um, yes, definitely life skills are extremely important, certain key life skills. But I liked what you said when you said teachers and health workers are very are almost that high risk section of our society, which is dealing with children. So sometimes children learn our anxieties. I think I can never forget my maths teacher who was dealing with a new system of maths. So suddenly, modern maths was introduced in schools, and they had shifted from Cambridge system to regular Indian boards. And I remember how nervous the ma'am used to be. I remember my teacher very well. She was a good teacher, but when she walked into the class, she would number one write the answer on the board and then start solving. And I remember I picked up my maths anxiety from her. I kind of almost absorbed that negative current that I would try to prove the answer in several ways. So you said it so well that teachers especially show a lot of anxiety, and I just wanted to talk about one thing that I missed, that your productivity lowers when you are when your mental health suffers, your output becomes lesser, and then people pick on you. Your employers may not like the way you are working, and then there would be every likelihood of you losing your job also. So it's very important to keep a good balance, and of course, be able to zone out at times. Once you're out of your workplace, look out for that calm, maybe even if it's for 5 minutes, to get out and mm, allow yourself to rest and put yourself together and then get on with your daily tasks. Coming back to the question that you asked about life skills, I think you named two life skills yourself: resilience. It's something which is, I think, though we talk about it, it comes at a premium these days. We've mollycoddled ourselves and our children, especially our so-called generation, the, the, the the Y generation and the Alpha generation. Somehow we've been able to mollycoddle our children so much that for them to get up when there is a storm is slightly difficult. So that bouncing back, that resilience is something that we need to inculcate. It's a huge life skill. Two, gratitude. Um, if you are grateful for being a part of an organization, you will kind of start blending with the purpose and the motive of the organization. If your set of principles and the organization's set of principles are parallel, are not blended, you will never enjoy working. You'll not be honest to the goals of the organization. And till you are with that organization, you're supposed to be able to at least be loyal to your employers. If you are working for yourself, remember that you have not only a duty for yourself but for your family also. That when you are with them, you are not constantly thinking about what is happening in the workplace. So that life skill of separating yourself from work, well, it is important, but it is not my end all. For me, pleasure is beyond work also. So I work, I draw pleasure there. I come home, I enjoy the company of my children and my parents, my extended family. We should be able to switch off and switch on when the time comes. Having said that, our productivity should not reduce. Thirdly, the biggest life skill that I keep talking about, and that was my topic of discussion last time, was communication. I feel that, there is this line in the Bible which says, ask and thou shalt receive. It is the same in the world. Ask and thou shalt receive. Talk, speak to people. Don't hold yourself back. There are times when there is a problem in your workplace. Communicate. Be able to adequately talk to people and don't talk down. Appreciate people. Be inclusive in your thought process. The biggest life skills today is that you cannot talk down to somebody who's your helper. I mean, I take objection when people say the office boy comes with a glass of water. You don't even say a thank you. Where is your gratitude? And you teach children gratitude. So that's again a life skill that needs to be, and I think to top it all, number one life skill is be a master of your work. Whatever you are picking up, whatever you are doing, it's very, very important that you should know, if not everything, most of the things. And it should be beyond your AI and beyond your Google. So whenever I start anything, I first make my own notes. Then sometimes I, I would I would say that I would like to check on my facts. But it is very important to be able to process information, for which your creativity is very important. Another important life skill is conflict reduction. Um, People have to understand that this world is, anyways, there's so many conflicts. So might as well, um, do not go with your biases and prejudices. Be open and deal with human beings as human beings and not as categories. And when you do that, you will definitely be a success. Yeah. So yeah, I think so interpersonal communication is important, resilience is important, conflict resolution is important, working in a group is important, inclusivity is important, gratefulness is important, and of course, a certain a certain code of ethics. Uh, People don't talk about it, but if you do not have your own code of ethics, you would not know where to draw the line. And if you are clear here that beyond this, I will not be able to compromise, you'll be happy.
Yes. Miss Alka, do you know that the majority of companies now, big companies like Google or Amazon, they organize special mental health workshops in their companies because they prioritize on mental well-being. They want their employees to be happy, to feel happy first in order to be more productive. They are
Absolutely.
very flexible with the leave of absence, with maternity, with special programs that bring them joy. So it's one of the trends in the business landscape now for companies because they have seen, of course, great results when it comes to mental health. And the most sought after life skills, I think it's, of course, communication that you said before. Communication skills is something which is very sought after by companies. Decision making, problem solving, critical thinking, of course, creativity, the kinds of adaptability that we mentioned, how flexible we are in the evolving job market, the emotional intelligence, let's not forget about this. And of course, how well we organize, how we manage the time and all these things. So there is a mutual relationship, we could say, a symbiotic relationship between life skills and career choices. As someone develops life skills, he can choose more suitable and fulfilling career paths that align with his abilities and interests. And conversely, the career environment provides continuous opportunities to develop and enhance the skills. For example, a person with strong analytical skills might choose career data science, which will further develop analytical and technical skills. So I think the life skills play a significant role in career path, but also in career transitions. So it's something that impact has a great impact on personal and professional growth at the same time. Now, immometer. Immometer, if you want to explain to our audience what is it, how do you rate, will you rate 5 things, name, fame, money, mental harmony, security? First of all, if it's possible to explain to our audience what is immometer.
Yeah. Nice. So typically, your emotional meter, what do you rate highest? And here, as typically every psychologist is trained, never to talk in shoulds and oughts. So I am not saying that this should be the way you think, but as research and empirical data might suggest, that people who are very very focused towards success in terms of money and fame, they might probably not be even enjoying that money, you know or maybe, of course, money is important for you to let's say get your basics in place, but that money may not sort out your relationships, or may not be able to provide you all the happiness that you want. um, there is a book that I am following. Of course, the writer is a psychiatrist, and incidentally, I have the book in front of me. Man, it's a small, thin book. It's Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. And I'll give this example because this is an example which I have very often given to my students, or people, or my own children, my own biological children, wherein Viktor Frankl was in the concentration camp. His entire family was sent to the concentration camp. And it so happened that he was a psychiatrist. And the first thing that happened to him as he entered the campus, all his degrees were thrown in the dustbin. And when he crossed, he says, I'm stripped of everything I have. So often we think that our degrees, our education, our fame, our money is everything. But the one thing that kept him alive was the fact that his wife may be in the other concentration camp. Incidentally, the fact suggests that his wife died very early. But the very fact that he had this faith that his wife would be in another camp and would be living, that visualization, that purpose in his life kept him going in extreme circumstances. So there is this line in the book that I keep telling children, in fact, anybody who's ready to listen, is the fact: he who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow. He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow. So when we talk about this emo meter, and I talk about what do I rate highest, I would definitely say mental harmony and security as my one and two, which I tested in the COVID times also, because I realized that when the family is around and when everybody is okay, and that is what I actually did a survey. So we have so many students in class. So I had a survey with the parents, and of course it's not in a book, but trust you me, 80% of the people said that we actually at that point of time we thought if the family is around, we are strong, and that is where everything is important, but maybe success and money may not give you that smile which a happy child of yours could give. So I would rate mental harmony as highest, and then security. And then, of course, yes, I would like to have some money in my pocket. and some names. So, as Maslow says, that the higher order needs, that is, your status needs, are important, but physiological needs, still you do not get all your physiological needs and your security needs. You cannot reach the top of the triangle. So, I would rate mental harmony and security as very, very important.
Yes, definitely. Like me, if you ask my
I should
opinion, the top
Can
I
I,
don't
priority
can I
will
ask
be
you also, ma'am, Dr.
yes,
Mala and
yes.
Dr. Lampu, which of these attributes do you rate highest? Name, fame, money, mental harmony, and security.
mental harmony and security is the most important, especially for women. Security is very important. Yeah, yeah, I do concur with you, Mrs. Sarka, and I think
How
Rania,
about you?
how
Yes. So the top priority is mental harmony and security both, because both they provide foundation for overall well-being, they reduce stress and allow for a more balanced life. Important but context dependent is money, second for me, money for security and comfort,
yeah,
but not the
yes,
sole determinant of success. And secondary factors, name and fame, while they can enhance opportunities and social standing, they should not be the core focus of well-being, of course.
yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it's,
Name and
it's
fame, let it come. You know, when
yes,
you are
Yes.
happy, you're
Yes.
mentally healthy. You see, mental health, as for me, I think the great contributor to mental health is the moral support we have from family members, from our friends, you know. I really sometimes friends are very morally supports you, you see. It's not the money,
Absolutely.
it's the moral support,
Absolutely.
the idea. You
Absolutely.
see, when you are down, you see, as we say that you want to know who are your friends, you will know when you are down.
Down. Absolutely.
Yes. When
Absolutely.
you're down, then you know who are your friends.
Who are
You
your
have friends,
friends?
you have
Absolutely.
friends who can go to different extent. You know, you can't expect all the friends to be the same. Some will give you moral support, some even call and ask you, hey, how are you? Is your problem okay? Have you settled? You know, I really appreciate this kind of people. Normally, this kind of people are not really financially very successful, but they care for people. You see, so these
Absolutely.
are friends we need in life. You see, so the rest are also important, but it's not the priority as
Absolutely, ma'am.
discussed. Yeah, mental health and security, of course, like what Dr. Rania said. For we single women, our security is not men but money.
exactly.
Money,
Absolutely.
shelter.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry to say, we are not against men, but for us, we are career women and all that. So we find that, yeah, actually, I'm not saying that the women don't need men. Okay. A wise man, a kind man is always a blessing for every woman.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
ma'am. And that's rare. But we have been brought up by good fathers. So we look for certain qualities of integrity and honesty and commitment and loyalty, which is rare now. It is
Yeah.
rare. So one
So
needs to
as
be,
you grow older, yeah,
yes,
yeah, please
yes.
carry on. Please carry on. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, I think the emometer is just this, how I rate the various, how I rate my emotions in accordance with these criteria.
Yeah. You see, when I was young, my father, my father, not, I have brothers, but my father is my hero. When he's around, I feel I'm so secure. I will never go to the sea, when we all go for picnic, I only go if my dad takes me. And I only ride on my dad's car or bike. I never, not even my uncle. I say no, no, sorry. I only trust my father. So you see, we women actually we can't deny that we need men company. But if you have a good man, it's a blessing. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
you better don't have. And as you age, as you age, then your man will not be a priority, because as we grow old, we don't look to partners, alone. You see, if they are there, it's good. If they are not there,
It,
fine. What is the
it's all
priority?
right. Absolutely.
Yeah, finance is so important. You see, you can
It's
have a man, you can have a spouse, but if you're financially not sound, you see that many families break during pandemic. You see, so you know So for single women, of course, as they once they attain certain age, they find that finance is more important than having a man.
Absolutely, ma'am. Finance is
When you're
important. Like I said, yeah, the
yeah,
pockets, if there are things, if we have deep pockets, I think it just adds to our happiness and our mental peace also.
yeah, not necessarily it has to be husband. It can be brother,
Yes,
can be normally family members. As you know, after sometimes you can't expect much from them because they get married, they have their family. You know, normally friends. You know, male friends. You know, like for ladies, male friends are very very helpful. If you ask me, male friends are fantastic. I can work better
absolutely.
with men, and you know, when I think that I need moral support, I do have, you know, a brotherly figure, a friend who I can talk to. You know, it's nothing wrong, not necessarily a life partner.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
we all need
Any,
each other.
you're lucky, ma'am, if you have friends, good friends whom you can count on. You're very lucky.
Yes, that's the thing. Dr. Rania, are you done with the
Yes,
question?
no,
We
I
can,
think it's a very critical question. Is happiness the factor for success, or success is the factor to happiness? Very
happiness.
critical
I
question.
I would say
Okay, let us hear
no,
from
no,
you.
no, ma'am.
Okay?
I think we this should be a point of discussion. Um I would say that happiness would lead to success in my work.
Exactly.
If I weren't happy, I remember when the kids were growing and I was going to school and we had three different schools to go to. Mine was separate. My girl was in a girls' school and a boy was in a boys' school, and all three directions. And I remember if I was not assured of good, a good anchor in the house, I would have my system would have collapsed. And I trusted them. My in-laws were with me, and my husband also pitched in whenever required. And he was in a more challenging career than mine. So the idea is because I was happy, I sent out positive vibes. As you know, we had Teachers' Day on the 5th in India, and I think 80% of the children who connected with me were the ones who I did not teach in a class, but the ones
Oh,
who came who were counseled, or, I mean, the very positivity that you have as an individual is because you're happy. And because I was happy, I was very secure in my head. And then I actually plunged into my work. So if I'm happy, happiness should be the prelude to success. Success will follow.
yes.
And sometimes success may not be calculated in how much you have in your bank account, but it the success could be how many children who have successfully gotten into careers, have moved from 20% in class 10 to 80% in class 12. That is my success. So I think all of us would, of course, rate success as very important. It definitely has a symbiotic relationship, but uh, I think happiness should be the prelude to success. That's
Yes.
my
Exactly.
idea.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Because happiness is it's a kind of energy, you know, which
Yes,
gives you
yes. It
the
keeps you
boost.
going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keeps you going. You know.
I can give you examples like everybody's standing in the morning assembly. We used to have long assemblies, and if you're cribbing, it's hot and there's so much perspiration. You won't enjoy the music, enjoy what the child is speaking. Listen. 80%
Yeah.
of us don't even listen. That's again a life skill that everybody should have. We hear, we don't listen. And if you
Mm.
listen, I enjoyed the child who was speaking, and so everybody people would say, "What makes you so happy? Why are you smiling all the time? What have you got that you?" It's just that I felt like a child. So the inner child needs to be assuaged at all times, and even in the world of work, if you go into corporate or anything, if you you are open, if you're happy, you would not unnecessarily be suspicious of other people, or you would not unnecessarily think that the other person is persecuting or plotting against you. So you need to be happy. Then you can invest in your work well.
Happiness attracts positivity also. That's why
Yes,
you don't
yes,
think of negativity, yeah, because
yes,
you are very optimistic about things, and you always attract positivity. Yeah, happiness.
absolutely,
Yeah, definitely. If you're
absolutely,
happy, you can do a lot of things. When you are happy, people around you are happy. You see. So and success no doubt makes you happy, but you know but you cannot achieve success if you are not happy, because if you are not happily doing your work, you can't achieve success, right?
absolutely, ma'am. Success
Happiness
follows. If you're
follows.
happy, it just follows. Yes,
Course
yes,
follows. You don't have to work for it. Yeah.
yes,
So
yeah.
amazing, amazing, wonderful question and answer. Nice session today. I told you it's going
Uh,
to be very nice. Okay, so the Mrs. Alka, do
yes,
you have anything to say, share with our audience before we close?
I'll just close by saying that this topic might just seem very simple, or it may seem almost like common sense, but there is a beautiful theory. In fact, there's something known as Holland's theory of how personalities can be matched with careers. So they call it the Rysek model, where R is realistic, A is artistic, I is investigative. And they say that if these points, or if these characteristics match with the kind of personality you have, you've made it in life. And it's a lovely test also that we used to perform in postgrad. And I realized that I was lucky to be in the right place. So I think by journaling, by writing down your preferences, or by constantly this I just remembered, ma'am, when I was asked to share my CV long some time back. I realized I hadn't been updating it. It was one stagnant note which was there when I just come out of school, when I finished my school career, and I realized that each one of us owe it to ourselves that we keep updating not only our skills but our CVs, our stories, so to say, and that would, of course, make us feel more confident about our abilities. So as we go back and connect to the topic, the interconnectedness between mental health and career, the interconnectedness is established, it is there, and one requires to keep growing and picking up skills, and also investing in their own upgradation as time goes on, and one would see that success will follow and your career will not end with, let's say, one retirement. Anyways, these days in one lifespan, people have 8 to 9 jobs to do. So what is required is keep upgrading yourself, adding to your skills, and you'll be doing fine. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ms. Alka. So now,
yes, yes.
Dr.
I just want to add, since we talk about the connectedness, the relationship between happiness and success that we said before is complex. And I think that this can be seen as a two-way street because both concepts are interrelated. For example, all research and psychological studies show that happiness can be a significant factor for achieving success, positive mindset, and motivation, improved productivity, resilience to stress. But at the same time, on the other hand, success can also be a factor that contributes to happiness. For example, achieving goals can provide a sense of fulfillment and accomplishment. Certain types of success, such as career advancement or entrepreneurial success or financial security, often bring financial stability, and this can reduce stress or recognition, self-worth, opportunities. So there is an interconnectedness also between happiness and success. So Let me allow me, Dr. Estera, for the closing remarks. Thank you, Ms. Alka Kumar, for your wonderful presentation of all these precious insights. Our participants, Dr. Esther Mala, it's my honor to give the closing remarks. What a joy to organize this forum online and be able to welcome experts and dignitaries in the field of education, which is a good sign to collaborate together to enhance the education system globally. I would strongly emphasize that our slogan called Education for All accomplishes the mission and vision of elegant higher education. Thank you, Dr. Ms. Alka, for presenting in a very insightful way the connectedness between career success and mental health. Working under extreme pressure can have wide-ranging effects, as you said, on physical health, mental well-being, on behavior and emotional stability. So managing stress through healthy lifestyle choices, seeking social support, the professional counselors, all of these are important. Good mental health supports focus, creativity, problem solving. Mental health individuals are generally more resilient and adaptable to change. Good mental health fosters positive relationships with colleagues, superiors, and clients. And of course, a healthy mindset allows individuals to make informed career choices based on their values, on their interests and strengths. Life skills, of course, as we said before, and career choices are deeply interconnected. Focus on building life skills can lead to better career choices, growth and satisfaction, while the right career experiences can further hone these essential skills for a fulfilling and balanced life. So thank you again, Ms. Alka, for your very informative talk. Half a gratitude I would address to the brilliant audience, to the teachers, parents, and the students who made it here with us today out of your busy schedule. We will meet again next week with another interesting topic. And before I let you go, let us give a big thank you to Ambassador Professor Esther Mala, the visionary founder, the brain in the heart of elegant higher education, as project director. See you
Yeah,
soon.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much, Dr. Rania. Yeah. So, dear audience, thank you so much for your for spending your time with us, and I'm very sure you have enjoyed this session today. Though it's exceeded an hour, but it's impactful. Yeah. Thank you so much. We'll meet
Thank
again in
you.
next forum on Wednesday with SDG forum, and next Saturday on the this same forum. Okay, with another eminent guest. Thank you so much.